It's that feeling. It's that feeling you get when you realise that actually you haven't done something. But I'm not entirely certain what that is. So yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I mean, I think we've been down the take list and everything. So yeah, it's Monday. We're doing that thing again, and to be fair, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good. I have a good feeling about today. What we've got planned so far is, first things first, try and put ourselves a peak mode tournament up, give ourselves some King of the Hill fun. I'm expecting to see some really bad-mannered play in that. And at some point we might try a mandatory cheese. At this point I'm thinking void rays. If you're in the chat, like watching on the stream, feel free to say hi. And then basically we'll see what people want to do, because usually, you know, sticking ourselves up, sticking up something like a peep mode tournament or something usually takes an hour or so. Let's see. But yeah. So what's been happening apart from that? Well, let's see. Yeah, apart from me cracking my knuckles and getting distracted by a million things, and the fact that I do have purple squash of some kind. I'm getting a little smack talk already. Apparently Harbinger reckoning he's the king of cheese. To be fair, he might well be. So, but first things first. Current map suggestions, Daybreak is what I'm thinking. But we'll see what people want to do. At the moment, I like Daybreak just because it's sort of it's a ladder map. I'm fairly certain it's a ladder map anyway. And we should have ourselves a decent number of people if we can get a decent number of fuckers in. But yeah, we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to have ourselves a little bit of a watchy, play, betting and all that sort of jazz, where I try not to sound exactly like Eddie Izzard. Looks like Daybreak, which, you know what, I can live with that. I like Daybreak as a thing, but it's not. I say it's not in StarCraft. It's in the arcade. Let's get that Daybreak on. Let's get my Daybreak on. La 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 la. Commentator mode. Create private game. Commentator.
Aria has a Twitter. Oh, does she? Yeah. I don't know if it's like a controller or a fan one.
This is, of course, where I end up with like 2 people wanting to join.
And they did one from somebody going, whose side are you on? And then linking to 2 accounts, one of which is Fight for Omega, and the other one is Omega Cerberus. And then Aria just replied, sent a message to Omega Cerberus just saying I was
Right. While we're trying to sort this out, there's people in games. We're going to give them a chance to get out there. And what we're going to do is, what I'll do while I'm sort of waiting for people to come out, going to put some stuff out there about ideas. At the moment, let's see. where most of the stuff that we do on the Monday night show is the mandatory cheese, the peep modes. We had an actual tournament once, which was quite fun, which I think Great Paz won, which is quite good. Nicely done, Great Paz. And we can get... This is the thing, I'm sort of looking into other ideas for more content, basically. I mean, if I can get casting gigs and do, cast people's replays, then that would be awesome. But other than that, there's sort of like, we seem to have settled on a fairly stable group of things.
For a dwarf to pop out and shout, "And then somebody has responded saying, a bolus shouting, "And my credits," seems a bit more apt.
By the way, hello to people in the chat. My chat, the Twitch chat's actually updating, so I can see when there's someone there now. Ah, dear. At the moment, we only have a couple of people in the chat. We should have another couple joining us shortly, but at the moment, everyone seems to be all like, "I'm going to be in games and stuff." So yeah, at the moment, I'm just wandering around, hoping I can get enough people in that we can actually make a go of this, because at the moment it's Harbinger versus Tryon, and that's it. I mean, I could try and play, but I can't really cast and play at the same time. Sorry. Every time people say hello in the chat, I want to be like, "Hi." This is of course where I get spammed with hello, so I have to sit there going, for like 10 minutes, oh my god. We have ourselves a Steve, the mighty Steve, who used to be Steve the Protoss, because I always saw him playing Protoss, but it turns out that's him off racing, and so he's actually Steve the Terran, which makes far too much sense, I want him to be the ancient and mighty Protoss warrior, Steve. But no. Sadly not. Now we have three player.
It's a director who doesn't know how to direct.
So yeah, you could just have an alcohol going, the voice of God. Nobody likes you.
Oh wow. Okay, so I've just heard the most disturbing concept I've heard in a very long time floating across the room. It's the Elcor from Mass Effect. The idea of one of them doing Lord of the Rings and being Gollum and Smeagol at the same time. Like, oh god, I don't even...
To the internet!
To the internet indeed, my friends. But oh my god. That... The weird thing is, because I put so much time into actually being able to do the impersonation of Smeagol and Gollum in the first place, the idea of trying to do them as an Elcor would do them, I don't even know how that works. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, see, I imagine Chapman as well. I imagine Chapman is like my parents' age, but she's just aged really well.
Right.
Which is why I have a mirror.
We've got ourselves 3 players.
Yeah.
And there's a definite order of...
Somebody keeps trying to track her down
We know.
through all the paperwork and give her retirement papers. She's just always on a starship going somewhere else.
Yeah. Although Ashley does mention offhand the first name that the average life expenses is rather
And And Steve has left us.
Yeah, medical science.
Steve, why would you do that?
So actually, yeah, retirement age is probably closer like 65.
Anyway, first.
Just heard someone saying that because humans have a longer life expectancy in Mass Effect, the retirement age must be like 65, 70. I have a sneaking suspicion it's not going to take that long before it's like that in real life. It's a depressing concept. Also, I am this far away from buying Heart of the Swarm just so I can get a beta key. In fact, the only reason I haven't done so far is because I can't decide which version of the game I want to get. I mean, I know I want to get one of the games. I know for a fact I want to get. I know for a fact I want to get one of the games. The question is, do I get? I'm not going to. Of course, do I get the? You know, the difference isn't do I get the standard edition, because the standard edition I don't want it. Do I get the digital special edition, which comes with all the in-game content but none of the book and DVD and so on and so forth? Or do I get the hard copy, which I can order from someone like Game or Amazon or whatever, instead of just buying it directly off Blizzard's site? And apparently you do still get the beta code, and you get it right the hell now. But I honestly don't know. You know, it's sort of... I guess I'll have to see. Because I'm going to buy Heart of the Swarm when it comes out. I may rage and curse and sweat and hate this fucking game. But StarCraft is my drug. And Blizzard are my dealer, and I'm not gonna, you know, not gonna stop now. That'd be crazy. Again, we are still just waiting for a couple more people to join up. Again, if people know people who want to join in, channel Psionic Aftermath or channel Nova Wolfen on the EU Battle.net, that's the one. Actually, you know what Blizzard really do? Blizzard really have something on like their web pages that allows them to allows people to use the in-game chat channels out of game as well, because that would then encourage people to stick around. You know, have like I don't know, like as part of the Battle.net website or something. You know, you can just join chat channels and you can be in them and you can talk to people and, you know, perhaps unify the chat system over all the games. I mean, because you've got it to a certain extent already, because you've got the ability to, you know, the Real ID friends. If you have Real ID, you can talk to people, even if they're playing things like, you know, you're playing SC2 and they're playing WoW or they're playing Diablo, and you're like, yeah, man, it's good. And to be fair, there is part of me that suspects that at some point in the future, all of the games on the Blizzard platform will be actually under the same application, but there'll be different aspects of the same application. So you'll be able to play. We have ourselves a fish. At least hopefully we will do. You know, so you'll be able to be playing, say, I don't know, World of Warcraft, and you're wandering around and you're farming bits and bobs, and it's not that much fun because, you know, nobody else is on. And then one of your mates is on Diablo 3 and they invite you to join them, and you can just go, yes, I will join that, and you switch straight through without having to go, and I'll disconnect, and I'll close this down, and I'll reconnect with this, and yes, I'll now accept the application. I'll just be like, click, click, done. Question is, where is Steve? I know he was here a minute ago. He's just disappeared. Damn you. And he's the only person I can see that appears to be there but not in. Again, it sort of feels like we should be actually getting on with this at the moment, but unfortunately we're still waiting for people to join. Bit of a slow start. My apologies, folks. There's not a lot I can do about this at the moment.
You son of a bitch. I'm going to hit you and punch you in the face.
Oh. Ah, Steve returns. Let's get him back in here. Apparently his internet is terrible. So try and get him in. Seems not to.
Double that, you know. double, maybe even more over that.
Right, so we have ourselves an Anubis.
Well, I'm not like fucking.
And actually, at this point, we've got a decent number.
I'm gonna post a fucking David Ryan shit. I'm gonna
No, okay, so I'm about to switch. At some point in the near future, I may switch through.
Especially when you just look back at the box down into where it's going back to that.
Anubis is in. Ah, there, right. It looks like we're spiraling to dangerously close to having enough people in this game to actually run. Because at the moment I've got 4 players, which is enough to have, you know, 12 matchups or something. Let's see. By the way, I would also like to give some props to the guys in the chat channel for actually sticking around and helping me out with this, because without them, this show really wouldn't be an awful lot. Oh well.
It's Riders on the Storm. It's in the far left-hand side of the bridges.
Right.
Okay.
I have made a declaration, a decision that Fish, we want Fish in because he's really good, but if he's not in here in the next 20 minutes or so, then chances are we're just going to have to go without him, because it's nearly been 20 minutes, and while I'm appreciating people's patience, we should get started. And also I'm running out of, you know, spontaneous material. Otherwise I'll need to start looking up jokes on the internet. That's a bad thing. But yeah, so far we have ourselves Steve, who I believe is a Terran, Harbinger, who plays everything, Anubis, who I think is a Terran, but I'm not 100% certain, and Tryon, the winner of our last tournament of sorts. For those who are watching but haven't seen the archives, we had a 4-person free-for-all. First person to win 2 matches wins. And it actually turned out that, as far as I could tell, the most skilled player in the game that was in there didn't actually win because he got mashed from both sides every time. Oh, and Steve proved himself to be an excellent player, because while he didn't do very well, it mostly because he got mashed by 2 players as well from fairly early on, he never gave up, and he was actually the second place in every game. Like, he never gave up. He would hide a hatchery somewhere. Like, he'd just put one down. Like, he would run away, and he'd stick a hatchery in a corner somewhere, and then wait for everyone else to fight it out over there and try and rebuild and try and drone and try and get himself something before somebody found him and just flat killed him. And oft times it worked. I mean, he actually did really well, relatively speaking, because he was in hidden corners, and he was in places that people don't generally go, let alone expand. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Alright, let's just do a bit of channel chimping? Chimping? The hell is that? Okay, no.
Chimping ain't easy.
Oh, man. It isn't easy. It's much like being green in that respect. It ain't easy. Any news on Fish? Oosh. Note to self, Fish is not spelled with a K. I'm not entirely certain why that's even a thing I would type. It's you know... Oh well. Oh, we have potentially a fish. Okay, so at the moment it's looking like we're just waiting to see whether Fish will actually accept this invitation. Yes, he will. Right, and we are a measly 10 human seconds away from, well, 5 human seconds now away from getting into the first game of the night. Oh, it's that feeling. And because we're going with peak mode, all of these matches are going to be on Daybreak. And yeah, I'm actually trying to pick the players that start the game this evening, but we'll see what happens. And it will be fun just to see what people's races are, because I think Harbinger is liable to go. I think he's either going Protoss or Zerg. I'm not entirely certain which. Steve will almost certainly go Terran, because apparently that's his race now. Anubis, I don't know. Fish, apparently he's really good, like potentially pro level good. Oh. I've just managed to pull the thing off this. Probably put that back. Anyway, we're now in. Oh man, really need to do something about this overload. Steve. Right.
Yeah, I completely forgot to use your money, so you were first.
Okay. Oh, Anubis is playing Terran versus Tryon by the looks of it to start with.
Right, I'm gonna go put mine on.
At the moment, it's commentator's choice, and there's no one to choose from. Anubis versus... There's a sheep there. Why is there a sheep there? Why is there a sheep there? I don't even... I'm not going crazy. There was a sheep there, right? Oh well. So, in the bottom left, we have ourselves that Protoss player, Tryon. And we have ourselves that Blizzard UI in the top left. And in the top right of the map, Anubis. Dat. Trying some mind games, are we, Anubis? In the top right we have Anubis with the sheep. Apparently it's a reward for something.
Why nobody ever thought that to put in a game before? What's that? Magic hand that shoots bees. It's a no-brainer once you know it. Yeah.
Right. So, we're seeing, actually, the thing is, we are seeing that usual start to the game, which is basically dick all happens. And, you know, we're seeing ourselves with the barracks coming down for the Terran. And we have ourselves a gateway coming down for the Protoss, scouting worker going out for the Protoss, because you know what, they can do that. They just start them buildings building, and then, you know, send the worker out afterwards, as opposed to Terran, which has to sacrifice a worker's time more.
Cybermen live it's a very different fact than BBS days. Kids, ask your parents and watch them swear. It's fun.
Anubis. See, I was expecting Steve to be the person probably being problematic, but no. Also, I really need to change the options to change the colour, because red versus blue works so much better. Okay, having set that up, now we see our first tech choices, or rather first design choices for our Terran player. Will he go for fast expand? Looking an awful lot like yes. The Protoss player is getting himself a cybernetics core, because you know what, you have to. And actually, annoyingly, while you haven't got stalkers out, you can't do an awful lot to stop the Terran actually scouting everything you have, because I don't think zealots are quite fast enough. And I believe that was a dead probe. Was it? Where's the Blizzard UI gone? There we go. Units lost. Yep, that was one dead probe. Warp gate started for the Protoss player because he can and he has to, and the engineering bay blocked by Anubis, which is going to be incredibly irritating when the Protoss comes down to try and plant his natural. Good block, Anubis. Good block.
Like a 10-year-old me.
Especially because he's not actually going to finish the eBay. He's just going to leave it there until the Protoss has to come and kill it with Zealots. Or a Zealot at least. And then he'll know when he expands. And also manages to delay his expansion until after the Terran already has his up. He is, however, defending with a single pair of Marines. I don't know, he's gone for 2 gas on a second barracks. Oh, a little bit of poke, poke, poke. Oh god, it's only going to take 1,000 years instead of 1,000,000 years to get that one. Anubis sending that decimated worker home. I say decimated. He's just a little injured. Bunker going down for extra security. Second orbital being formed. I'm expecting some kind of mech play out of that. I don't know why though, because it doesn't seem worth it. Oh, the Zealot joins in on the pain. That actually will do some damage because they do a decent amount of damage per hit. Especially to a building that isn't being built. We have ourselves Tech Lab and Reactor coming down for the Terran. In addition to the bunker, which is just finishing up at the front. And at this point, I'm kind of expecting them to fill that up and then send the next couple of Marines out to scout the map here and here. Because, you know, watchtowers are amazing on Daybreak.
I would love that.
Although I have to admit, I was expecting him to make more in the way of buildings by this point. When he's got the minerals for it, he's getting the gas with... Ooh, a little bit of a mistake there, I think, by the Terran. Having 4 on one and 2 on the other is not nearly as efficient as having 3 on both. Yep. There we go. Have ourselves a robotic facility, so we're looking at a 3-gate robo from Trion, which is a standard build, with the Tastosis pylon combo right there. Warping in what looks like a couple of sentries down on the low ground, which is interesting. Because honestly, I think the sentries would have been far more used trying to cover this bit, because only, you need like 1 force field. This is a lot of force fields to cover. So until he can get a bunch of sentries out, they aren't going to do him that much good. At this point, the betting seems to be for Anubis. I guess that happens. Oh, wow. He's pushing with this small force. I say small force. There's 6 Marines and a Marauder. And he's pushing in for like 7.5 minutes, which is just in time for that observer to miss them. Oh, a bunch of workers transferring down to get killed. Anubis is, however, supply blocking and not building depots. And if his opponent... Oh, nope, he's left one at the tower and pulled back. Which, that's fair. I'm guessing that must have just been a... Oh, there come the supply depots. I'll be up here somewhere, I imagine. Yep. I imagine that might just have been a make sure there isn't a Zealot on the watchtower. I'm not sure if that much force was strictly necessary, but there we go. The Marine standing there, little realising his opponent is playing very defensively, getting some sentries, getting some stalkers out, and getting himself a Twiglet Council. For which he is using, I'm not entirely certain at this point. I mean, he's got a lot of gas, about 300 gas. Could he be going Templar? Does he have vision of his opponent's base? Unfortunately, we can't just press V, so I have to observe Trion and see that he knows what his opponent has, and if his opponent wants to waste a scan on that, he can kill that observer dead. Oh, looks like he's lining up to do that. No, it looks like he might actually be pushing out. Looks like he's setting himself, or rather he's setting himself up to be slightly less defensive. We've got an Immortal coming down for the Protoss, which, while good, I don't know. Oh, missile turret being built, that observer is dead. But he's going to see that his opponent has medevacs and is pushing out while he can't... Oh, that's going to be potentially unpleasant. Has he seen the observer? Almost certainly. That's why he's sitting there waiting for it to die. Missile turret, bang. That was a scouting factory, and turns out he is a bro, and he lifts. The question is, will this pylon be enough to power the +1 weapons upgrade, which is otherwise going to die instantly when this pylon goes down, and then slightly shortly afterwards? Colossus coming out, but the Protoss is supply blocked, and he's not likely to get unsupply blocked anytime soon because his opponent's about to drop him in the moon. Honestly, at this point, he should be expecting a drop. Because he scouted medevacs, and he's up against the Terran. Oh, he managed to unsupply block himself just in time to lose a bunch of workers. How long will it take him to notice that this is happening? Far too long. He's taking some heavy casualties at this point. Stim goes down and the workers finally flee. Was he trying to bait the Stim out? Possibly, but it seems a bit of an inefficient way to do it. Okay. And the medevacs move out. The question is, will he be able to push anything back up there? Or will he be forced to make himself a bunch of stalkers off the supply, the meager supply that he has? If he can actually get some stalkers down, there we go, and move them down to the back, because they're not actually close enough to stop anything coming down here. Oh, God. Okay. Behind this, Terran appears to be teching up. He's got himself 5 barracks now and a boatload of minerals. I'm actually quite surprised. I was under the impression that Anubis was really quite good, and therefore this level of... Oh, will his opponent see it? He may not have seen that. He may be about to lose his entire... Although if he drops the natural, he's got Colossus there, and they will butcher everything. Observe everyone. Not looking good in terms of units lost for the Protoss. Oh, there's 2 medevacs coming in here, and there's 2 medevacs coming in the back of the main. I think this might be a fatal blow. I mean, that one there is going to kill the Colossus even. I mean, if he's not careful. And the main is... he's suffering such heavy losses. Protoss has enough to be able to rebuild after this, but he needs to do something about the drop in his main. And you know what he really needs? Some stalkers at the back. Now he's doing. Unfortunately, it's not going to stop anything coming down here, even if he gets a Templar Archives. Actually, if he can get some Templars out and just stick a Templar where he thinks the drop's going to happen and feedback the medevacs as they come in. Because feedback would kill a full medevac straight out. But, nope. It looks like he's just going to go and try and kill some more stuff. Oh, he's going to poke in and try and bait, but nope. The Colossus was enough of a deterrent. You know what? It would be a really good idea to get yourself an observer and send it out to find out where those medevacs are going. Because at this point you cannot leave your base, and Terran is doing the appropriate thing and expanding and mules. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's keeping him out of his base with stalkers, but at the same time it's not really that practical, and Anubis is definitely going to be heavily bet on now. Storm coming down for the Protoss. Clearly he wants to use the High Templar for slightly more than just feedbacking medevacs. The question is, will he be able... oh, and he won't be able to expand because Anubis has put something down there. It's got to be frustrating. There's also a fairly sizable army moving out here, including Vikings for the Colossi. Unfortunately, I think Anubis is going to take this just by pincering him from 3 different directions at once, and that's going to be a scouting worker from the Terran. Oh no, he's not scouting at all. He's building himself another command center. One Stalker going back by himself to take on the enemy forces, and it ain't gonna happen because those Colossi are what he really needs at this point. Unless he has Blink? No. Tryon not realizing necessarily that he really needs to get something done about these things in the back. It's weird. If you can force a Protoss into a specific tech path, like going for a single Stargate to get, I don't know, a Phoenix or 2, to just chase those things away, then you can do an awful lot of damage to them. He's got 5 High Templar? 4 High Templar? Oh. He's now... oh! Anubis is almost certainly going to take advantage of this fact by dropping him in the main again. Because it turns out the medevacs are a little bit speedier than the Stalkers and can wander around getting things done. Oh, he had to know this was coming. Does he have enough for a feedback? Does he have enough storm even? He's actually got enough to take out. Yep, it's a bit of a waste of a storm, but unfortunately for him, in the main, there's another one, and it's now leaving because he knows he's potentially about to get hurt very badly indeed. They may well just go up and join up with the main force in the middle of the map and come straight down here and kill him. He's got planetary, he's got himself another base down here that Anubis isn't actually doing anything with, he's just floating around. Protoss finally getting his third up because you really, really need to by this point. Archon's coming down because he knows his opponent has bio. Let's see, got ourselves some Forge pumping out +2 weapons, as opposed to his opponent who has +2 +1. Actually, what in terms of upgrades does he have? He has +1 weapons, +1 armor. If he can chronobush that out, he can put himself on equal weapon upgrades, but unfortunately, if we look at army size, it's not looking good for the Protoss. He basically looks like he's about to get crushed into the ground just by sheer weight of numbers. And I'm actually quite surprised that Anubis hasn't done more than just go for a snipe. Because he probably will be able to take this before the forces get there, but he's going to take some losses here. Ooh. And now he knows his opponent has Archons. Ooh, wow. Okay, so at this point he's going for 3-2, 3 ghosts. It's starting to look a little bit unpleasant for the Protoss because at this point his front is completely undefended. If the opponent decides to just waltz in here, he can take his natural and walk up into his production capacity up here. It's not looking good. It's not sounding good either. We have a few more command centers going down there, presumably because that way Anubis can sacrifice production capacity for more troops. Because mules, man, what can't they do? Interestingly enough, he's only making Protoss is only making 2 workers at a time. Tryon needs to try and put. He's got some resources to do it. He needs to start putting more in. Yeah, we go. Into having 3 constant worker production because if he doesn't, he's. Well, I mean, he's dead anyway. Oh, and 4 nukes have just finished. Anubis isn't just going for the kill. He's going for the hilarious kill. In fact, let's follow this guy right here. Tryon having supply blocked himself somehow. Oh. I wonder what he's going to do. Does he even have to... Do you even cloak? Yes, you do. And in comes the nuclear missile. Where's the silos? Oh, there they are. That being the one that fired it. The question is, will he be able to find him and stop him in time? No. There's another one going down in the moon. Oh, that's going to be the death of the production facilities all by themselves, unless his army can get there somehow, which it can't.
He does have a real name, but he's stopped using it.
See you later. Jesus wept. And at this point, Tryon has lost. He may not know this yet, but he should. Given that he just... I mean, in fact, let's just have a look at the units lost tab. Yeah, it's not looking great for him. I mean, he's got some resources, but he's hard supply blocked and is going to need to do a lot of work to get just out of that. And that's before his opponent nukes his 3rd again. And he's going to take it down. I mean, there's... I can't remember how much damage a nuke does now. Let's have a look. 300 plus 200 plus the structures. That thing is not dead. Oh my god, by the thinnest of margins. Nukes going down everywhere in the main. At this point, he's sacrificing some workers, but he doesn't give a damn about it because at this point... Oh, dropping the ghost under the nuke.
I think you have to do 3 of them. If you hit a red, you remove more. I think you select a red, it just goes.
Oh wow, that nuke, defensive nuke, just enough to take the edge off the Colossi and kill their shields altogether. EMPs, High Templar dead. Tryon finally gets it. He was Tryon, he tried hard, but he GG'd, and now Anubis is potentially gone. Oh god. So, Anubis is the king. Anubis, who will go against him? Who will play now? Harbinger, I would say. Playing Zerg. At this point, I don't know what's going to happen at this point because Harbinger is very good. But Anubis is also very good. I mean, in this fight it'd be fairly easy to tell the Zergling's not going to win, but it's just a representation. TVZ, Anubis currently favoured, I believe. I think that's what it says on the map. Colour selection mode is now commenting. Oh no, it has at least gone red versus blue. So ignore the messages you see on the screen. Anubis being heavily bet on versus Harbinger, who's playing Zerg. Harbinger spawning in the bottom left. Anubis with his blue sheep. No, I'm not even going to say that. That'd be the silliest thing in the world. Terran player doing that classic 9th worker being sent out to build a supply depot. And at some point in the not too distant future, I'm kind of expecting to see Hellions out of him, and I guess we'll see where it goes from there. Harbinger, getting himself Dat Overlord. Anubis supply blocking himself only momentarily, because it turns out Terran lines up that way. Oh well. Sending out a scouting overlord, presumably just to the outside of his natural, so he can see when workers come in. Again, it's sort of like that would, to me, be the equivalent. Where's that actually going? Because it seems to be heading towards his third rather than his natural, or maybe it's going to go around behind his natural and just see when it drops. Which at this point, I'm kind of expecting it to be sometime around 3 minutes 30-ish. But Zerg getting their base down first. Mostly because Terran has to wall himself in. He can't afford not to. He has to basically defend himself against any early pushes. Although I have to admit, I was expecting him to wall himself in properly. He does appear to just be going for a fast expand. Which is fascinating. Units lost tells us precisely nothing at this point. Anubis sticking that worker there, waiting for the money to come in. 290. Can need a lot more though. And will Zerg be going for a quick third? Probably, actually. Because at this point he's got nothing to lose. His opponent has a single marine. I mean, he doesn't necessarily know that, but he's going to know his opponent's thrown down his natural at, slightly before 3 minutes 30, and that he's not going to be able to put on any early pressure. He's going for a macro build. The Terran worker making its way over. Actually, at this point, we'll know whether Anubis is going to do any kind of nasty cheese stuff, because at this point he can still bunker rush the natural. It's not the best, but he can still do it. And the question is that's just a main art of workers? Yes, it is. The worker, deciding discretion is the better part of valor, is leaving. Dat Overlord, on the other hand, can probably see everything it needs to. Okay, no, so he can see potentially sparks, but he actually can't see the natural. Shooting down that neutral supply depot, because as Flash did in one of the games that I saw at, I forget which one it was now. He put a bunker behind there and defended himself against Banelings by putting his supply depot in place of the neutral supply depot, just giving it that bit of extra wall in against being basically run over by Banelings. Harbinger now is going to be able to see Mule, and therefore knows that not only is there a base there, but also, oh my word, he actually got a scout up into the base. And then it died. Having seen pretty much everything, I mean, he knows what his opponent has. He knows he's putting down that factory, he knows he's got reactors, so he knows he's got Hellions incoming, which is why he's getting a Roach Warren. And that Roach Warren was basically a reaction to seeing the Hellions coming, because that's Hellions, they're coming. Harbinger now 6 supply ahead, presumably in workers. Yep. Making sure he gets himself Ling speed, because Ling speed is hilarious. And he's now walling in his main. Anubis making sure that that Zergling run by that happened just now can't happen again, which is fair. Nobody likes having Zerglings in their main, especially when they show your opponent everything. Let's see. Are we seeing Glial Reconstitution come down? No, because it needs a lair first. He's not bothering with one of those yet. Another extractor going down, getting himself some more gas, getting himself some Banelings. And he's getting himself some roaches just in time because the Hellions are inbound. The question is, where the hell do they think they're going? And, the Hellions see the roaches and leave immediately. Roaches, on the other hand, pushing their way across the map, actually, getting himself some seriously nice map control just by dint of having stuff on it. If he rushes around with those lings, he can potentially, if he's really lucky, he'll get a surround on the... Oh, no surround for you, and he'd line him up. Zerg pushing out some forces, Cloak Banshee coming out, which again is very much a standard thing at this point, because you've got the starport, you've got the factory, you've got the ability to make a tech lab, stick a starport up, get yourself a Cloak Banshee. Question is, at what point will Zerg realise there's the Cloak Banshee incoming, and how many spores is he going to put down, and will he even give a damn if he's just about to push this many banelings into his opponent's face? I mean, he's got, you know, a supply depot wall to get around, but if he's doing what I think he's doing, he's just basically going to go for a smash through and kill him now. Oh, but he is, however, going to see the Banshee, because the Banshee's right there. And he's going to pick off a bunch of stuff, actually, before it gets anywhere at all. Not looking good for those roaches. They are going to be fairly decently powerful against the... Oh, a bunch of lings running around, trying to get a surround on the Hellions, not realising the fact that there is a bunker there. Yep, there the bunker is getting target fired down, taking it out. The attacking force is, however, going to die horribly, and at this point, what Harbinger really needs to do is stick down spores, because he knows his opponent has air. And I have to wonder why he hasn't. I have to wonder why, having stuff like... There we go. Question is, will it be in time, and will it be in the right place? Spore Crawler going down there. Spore Crawler going down in the main. Yep, there we go. It'll be just barely in time, if it's in time at all. I think it might actually be too late. Oh, 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 oh. Attacking the workers when he should be attacking the Spore Crawler. Cloak comes down. That Queen goes down as fast as hell. Yep, she's dead. Spore Crawler deciding to move slightly further into the action. Will it be able to get down, or will the Banshees pick it off? Another Spore Crawler coming down on the other side of the minerals. The Banshees paying for themselves, though, because they've killed so many workers now. Having to move that Spore Crawler out. He's lost so many workers to just 2 Banshees. And now the Banshees are going to start getting shot down. He needs to start mining on the other side of the Spore Crawler. Oh, going down in just about in range to do some damage. In terms of workers lost, that's actually a decent number now. Oh, and the detection radius is longer. Yep, there we go. Chased him away. Get out of my base. Unfortunately for him, behind this, there's more Banshees and some mech being developed right there. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still got the ability to attack this third and do some horrifying damage to it, but it's going to be a lot of Hellions. Oh my god. And he's going to see it coming, but unfortunately I don't know if he's going to actually be able to do anything about it. Oh, no, the Hellions retreat back, because unfortunately they can do stuff to the roaches and the hell is he doing? Attacking his own base for a second there. Not the best of things to do. At this point we're expecting to see Zerg put his third down. He's going for Lair, which means at some point in the none too distant future he's probably going to try and get Glial Reconstitution. Oh! Will he be able to kill that base? It's on fire. The Hellions coming down to try and save the day. But it's possible that unless they can do something very spectacular... Oh my word, the Thor putting itself in. And now his opponent knows he has Thors. At this point, as you're kind of sweating a little bit, because you know your opponent has decent tech. And you know he has a third base, which is up and running. Unfortunately, Terran attempting a pushback and trying to deny the third of his opponent, but unfortunately it doesn't work. A quartet of roaches, just in the right place. We have ourselves missile attacks, Glial Reconstitution, there we go. 10 more roaches coming down, because unfortunately when you invest in roach tech this heavily, you need to actually have a bunch of roach. Let's see. From the third, we have ourselves a nice little push coming out for the Terran player. He's pushing out to the watchtower. I have a feeling he's going to hold it for a little while and then try and push out, but and Zerg is potentially going to lose a lot of stuff here, because if he's pushing in piecemeal like this, he's going to lose everything. Nope, he's going to take his own watchtower.
Okay. DLC is all work.
Okay. Betting appears to be favouring Anubis. Let's see, gas being collected by the Zerg, because it turns out he wants gas. I have a sneaking suspicion he's going to try and get... Ah, there we go. Oh, no, he's drop play. Ooh, that's all sorts of fun. Not going to do him very much against, you know, siege tanks, and lots of them. I mean, does he have any siege tanks out there? Oh, he's got a couple. Got 1 or 2, I imagine. Let's have a look at unit count. In the unit counting station, we see 2 siege tanks. Not really a massive danger yet, but they will be shortly. And the question is he going to go for roach drop, or is he going to go for dropping lings and blings in his opponent's main? Because unfortunately, it does hurt you quite badly when someone does that. I actually, there is part of me that would like to see some kind of Nidus play along with us. You know, sort of stick up a Nidus somewhere like here and here, and just have, you know, attack from directly from the main. Attack the main, destroy as much as you can, and then retreat out and attack the third with the same army. In terms of army size, I'm actually quite concerned that Harbinger's getting massively out macroed. He's got, you know, the capacity to make stuff. The question is, why is he not doing it? Is he just low on things, or is he waiting for pathogen glands and the infestation pit? Is he going to have long enough to do that? It's looking a bit bad. Oh, we have ourselves tunneling claws, because if your opponent doesn't have detection, it's a really good way of getting stuff around. But he's going to have detection. I don't know what to tell you.
Nice thing about this.
Oh, he scans, sees the spore crawlers and the roaches, and I have a horrible suspicion that Anubis is going to push and kill Harbinger before he can get the most out of his pathogen glands infestors. He's also getting a Spire, which suggests we're going for Infestor Broodlord. Which, to be fair, is the classic composition. You have to do it against Terran, or you can do it against Terran, and it's brutally difficult to stop. But when your opponent out macros you by this much, by having this much stuff, it looks a bit... It's not looking good for our Zergy friend, let's put it that way. Tunneling Claws is nearly done. It's going to be done in time for the Terran attack. And he's going to know the Terran attack is coming now because he's seen it. And therefore I'm expecting him to pull all of his forces up to the third. Oh no, he's going for a drop. Now's the really bad time for a drop. Your opponent's about to start crushing into your base. Unless he's going to drop them all over his opponent, which seems like a really bad move considering he has Thors. This might turn out to be the last mistake that the Zerg makes. He's certainly about to lose a whole bunch of stuff. Those roaches coming down in not big enough numbers to actually do any serious damage. I have a sneaking suspicion this may end up being GG because he's not even dropping them anymore. Going for Broodlord Infestor, but you need to get there quicker. Harbinger blaming fish. As far as I'm aware, Anubis is either Diamond or Masters. I don't know for certain. Right. Right. We're waiting for people to join up, to sign up for the next one.
I say yellow, because you see if there's a yellow pattern as well, that one. That was quite cool.
Yeah, but I'd say the stripes rather than the... That's cool.
Oh. And that, Harbinger, is why you don't do builds that other people tell you to. You do the ones you like.
Travel material as well. Because you can make it more shiny. It says you can make it more shiny on one map.
Yeah, it's not a good all-in versus mech. As you can tell by the fact that your opponent has Thors. You're going to lose that one.
Complementary colours.
It's weird to sort of think about like the current meta.
Just for spending 10 minutes on it.
No, he was part of the special edition for 3.
9 Roach Rush. I'm assuming that's an adaptation of the 7 Roach Rush. Whew. The question is, what do you do if your opponent bunkers the hell up? I mean, they have to see it coming, but then if you're doing it at 6 minutes, they can see that coming.
I got one.
Oh well. Right.
Not machine. I can't think of him as anything else. Listen, love him Wall Street. There's a lovely. Have you seen Hot Shots? You got Charlie Sheen's the main character in Hot Shots.
Yeah.
And he's on a boat going one way. And then it cuts to Martin Sheen doing the bit from Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. They go past each other on a boat.
And they see each other and they're both just like, I loved you on Wall Street.
Yeah, it's lots of.
Okay.
Which is the salute. Over the
Because
distance.
he plays his dad in
Yeah.
film.
It was fantastic though. That whole film was fantastic. We got on DVD. Hot Shots, and all some other form of recording this kind of thing. No. Why the hell not? That's my question.
You might be the reason I'm still alive, but that doesn't mean I trust you. You need to earn the right to ask me those kinds of questions. Cut to the chase. What are the Reapers doing for you to decide to go move?
Jim, did you ever play Loom?
Sorry?
Did you ever play Loom? Oh, never mind. Loom, it's not LucasArts adventure game. Helen Gibbons has just been on Twitter and said that Matriarch Benezia reminds her of the evil bishop.
I did know to ask that guy in the tavern about
Ask her
Lynn.
about Loom. Yeah.
Harbinger is in. Is Anubis going to go against him again? Come now, Anubis. Don't be coy. I'm trying to get things done here. Oh, Anubis. Is the alt having out? Is he just having a crap internet day? The Harbinger apparently wanting a better picture. And a Combat Shield Marine versus a Roach. I'm betting on the Roach, actually.
Yeah, they sometimes change.
Right.
Those like to keep you on your toes.
Ourselves Acid Spitting versus a Machine Gun. Okay. This being more of a demonstration match, I think. But that's fine. That's fine. Colour scheme is apparently red versus blue. Is it hell? Okay. We have ourselves Harbinger versus Anubis. And in the bottom left, we're going to leave this one open because, you know what, I just want to see what people do to start with. But in the bottom left, we have ourselves a Terran Anubis claiming that he can hold a 9 roach rush at 6 minutes without, you know, by scouting it properly.
Magic sword of Salasar.
And claiming that he can then go on from there to do well. Anubis, 1790 for him, against Harbinger, our Zergy buddy in the top right-hand corner. Will he play what he said he was going to, or will he meta the hell out of this? I guess we'll find out. Currently, the Blizzard UI, click, tells me that we're having the standard thing of observer, workers. I wonder if there's actually a way to... Anubis, confident in his abilities. Can command center first. Oh, this is going to be entertaining. Going command center first versus Zerg, you're assuming that your opponent is also going very early hatch.
Rats. Mud the far coast.
Racks coming down for our Terran player. Let's actually have a look at the Blizzard UI, because I did put that up for a reason. Spawning pool coming down for our Zergy buddy, but it's coming down well after his hatch goes down, which is terrifying as a concept, because it's turning into like the fastest match I've ever seen. I say fastest. Not the fastest, because the fastest is worker rushing and would be over already. But the sort of the most macro-focused games I think I've ever seen. Everyone going, no, I will go for economy first. Betting that he's going to put himself in for just enough... Actually, no, we know what he's going to do. He's going to go for a roach rush. So presumably, as soon as this gets done, he's going to stick himself down a roach warren. Which will cost him a princely sum of 150 minerals. So presumably this gas is... Hello. Yep, Maynarding down. Presumably this gas is so that he can do things like build a shitload of roaches really, really quickly.
Probably most things are that.
Yep. 2 supply, 25 gas. His opponent not going to be able to see an awful lot about what he's doing here, because at this point it looks like a standard Zerg opener. That Overlord in exactly the clutch place to have a look at what his opponent is doing with regards to his natural. It's weird. It's like they put these things exactly here so you can tell where you need to click to have a hidden Overlord. Because I think there's one here as well. You know, there's like a... It's either one of those two. I think it's actually this thing here, right here. Really, really good for hiding Overlords over, and it really annoys me when they do. Oh, that worker is going to die. Because it turns out queens are pretty good. 2 queens out now for Harbinger, and at some point in the near future I'm expecting... There we go, Roach Warren coming down. Now, if he's playing true to form, Anubis is not going to see this coming. He is putting the bunker down exactly the same place he put it down last time. He's putting down Supply Depot to wall himself in exactly the same as he did last time. And at some point in the none too distant future, I'm kind of expecting him to go Hellions and try and push his way across the map and get some map control. But he's unlikely to see this. Probably. Both players stockpiling a decent amount of gas. Going for a quick Banshee. And is it going to build the tech lab? Yes, there we go, there's the tech lab. Roach Warren is completed, but he doesn't have much in the way of roaches yet. Yes, quite. I'm assuming he's expecting to lose at least one of his overlords at this point. Scouting in to see what his opponent is doing, and he doesn't have anything to defend himself with at all. So he's actually going to be able to scout literally everything his opponent has, and he's going to see the Banshee come out, assuming it's a Banshee, not a Viking. Oh, 2 Marines coming down to kill that Overlord dead, but he has seen... He's seen everything, pretty much. He knows his opponent has a natural up and running. The only thing he hasn't seen, I think, is the Supply Depot wall-in that is happening. Oh, have ourselves some Ling speed coming up. Targeting down the injured Roach. Not getting that much damage off on them, unfortunately. The Roach is now heading down into the natural. This is the point at which we thought we'd find out whether it works or not.
Although,
He's got himself a Banshee out, and the Banshee's going to wreak havoc. The question is, what damage will the Roaches be able to do before they get all taken out? Because they will get taken out at this point. Going up into the main. Okay, no, the Roach is screwing around. He's going to be able to get away from the bunker if he's good, and take down that natural. Deny the natural, perhaps? No, he's wandering in range of the... Oh, he's taking out the bunker. What will he be able to kill the bunker? Oh, such a good hold. 2 Marines in the bunker. The Roaches get taken out. And at this point, Ling's in the main. Oh god, but unfortunately Lings are not generally that good against Hellions, especially when there's a bunker backing them up. Not looking good for Zerg at this point. Harbinger saying he did it wrong. Doesn't know the build. Oh dear. Yeah, you really should hit a lot sooner than that. But he can't attack up the ramp because the Zerglings are not good against that building. At this point I'm expecting us to see a little bit more of a normal matchup. Drones, actually, yeah, a fat stack of drones, because Terran is now pinned into his base and cannot afford to go anywhere at all. Spore Crawler coming down. 1, 2, 3, 4 Spore Crawlers. One at the back, one at the front. One at the back, one at the front. Decent spore positioning. It's actually going to be just about enough to foil his opponent completely, unless he goes for the third, which he's going to do. He's going to need to do something about that, because he can't have his opponent having more bases than him. The Zerg actually needs to have more hatches. I have a sneaking suspicion that third is just going to die. And it's going to finish. Unless he cancels it now. Nope, there we go. Third is just going to die. Bit of a shame, bit of a waste of over 300 minerals, because he could technically have cancelled that, but whatever. We're looking at a 2-base Zerg versus a 2-base Terran. And to be fair, that is providing a very effective shield against the Banshees coming in and trying to kill everything over here. Creep team is being spread out, standard wall in up to double Evo chamber, spine crawler, which will protect against quite a lot of stuff, including most Hellion attacks. The little broodlings waiting to die. But hopefully the Spore Crawler should protect against pretty much everything it needs to. Going up into the main, he's going to discover there's a Spore Crawler there as well. Oh, Spore Crawler positioning, excellent. Not quite excellent enough. There we go. Oh, is he going to focus down the spot of the Spore? No, he's not. Another Spore Crawler going down from Harbinger just to make damn sure he's not coming back. At this point, Terran's up to 2 base and is building Hellions. Has built Hellions and Banshees, building himself some armor and weapons for his vehicles. And is now pushing out across the map. He's going to get spotted immediately because there's a... Oh, no. He's attempting to put something down at the third. And those Lings had better move, otherwise they're going to suffer the wrath of lots of Hellions. Oh, that's not an efficient trade for Harbinger. Especially given his opponent's trying to build it here as well. Oh, he's going to see that as he goes past. But the Hellions are going to be just enough to keep him away. 10 roaches coming out, which should keep them relatively Hellion resistant back at home. At this point, I'm kind of expecting some kind of Nidus play out of him, just because, you know what, it might be worth it. Of course, the thing is, he can't actually do it anywhere in his opponent's base, I think, because he's not got enough into... Oh, no. Yeah, if you could do it in somehow in that tiny stretch of land there, then maybe... Oh, a bit of an attack going on up here. Roaches coming down, attacking the Hellions, which are still going to get into the base. Oh, no. They're going to get cleaned up relatively quickly, though. They'll do some damage, but not nearly as much as they could have done. The Terran player now expanding to a 4th base, while Zerg is still stuck on 2. Needs to get himself some more stuff. Glial Reconstitution going to help out a lot, but it's not going to be enough to get himself to get, you know, it's not going to be a substitute for sticking down more bases. And he needs more anti-air, so presumably he's getting Infestor. There we go. If Terran can get to Infestor, if Terran can get to Infestors, that'd be terrifying. If Zerg can get to Infestor Broodlord, then he stands a very good chance of doing horrifying things to his opponent. Thor's coming out, which will do not much against the Roaches. He's going to lose all of those Thors, pretty much guaranteed. Which actually is a nice efficient trade for the Zerg. Because those Roaches, while they're getting cleaned up, are very efficient supply when traded against Thors. Will he be able to take that one as well? Probably not. Will he get it? Yes, he will. Nicely done. Mech not working so well against this Force of Roach. 16 more Roaches on the way, 2 more Thors, 1 more Banshee. This is the point at which Terran looks like he's actually going to start switching into Sky Terran. And just go all out on the air, because at this point Zerg has a million things, none of which can shoot up.
Yes, because I keep remembering running out of...
3 Banshees here going to keep Zerg pinned, because he doesn't have Corruptors yet. Infestors showing their might. Unfortunately, they're invisible. He has, however, put some damage on them now.
Mate, McQueen voting lesbian socialist foreigner.
Have ourselves Rich Vespine. Oh no, yep, it's Rich Vespine on that one, isn't it? The Roach Force potentially going to go after the third, which is nice and unprotected at this point. He'll be able to rally around with a bunch of Hellions, but the Thors are not quick, and Fish, what are you doing? Oh, is that still cloaked? That's still cloaked, that's wasting energy. going to be a bit bad for him if he can get... Oh, and we're seeing that roach attack coming in on the third. It's potentially just going to kill it. We're certainly going to deny a lot of mining.
I have so many people following me, I don't know.
No,
It's so tough.
It's on fire. Will you be able to repair it? Almost certainly. The question is, will you remember to?
Because occasionally I'll, say stuff.
Oh, it's not going to burn down unless he's really, really bad. Which at this point I think we've established Anubis isn't.
Do you know about the concept of
Oh, fungals.
Yeah, but
Fungal. Fungal infested Terran. Sorry, I speak infested. Banshee's cleaned up. So that third base for Zerg is now an option. However, more Banshees! He needs to get himself some air. Like, seriously, these Banshees have done so much damage. I'm kind of expecting... I'm really... Yeah, we go. Sky Terran incoming.
a true hubble bag, you try to phrase it in a way that's like, oh, life's over.
Roachling, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about Roachling. The thing is, his opponent now has 5 bases. Or is building his 5th, anyway. And Zerg only has 4. Or as well, they're building 4. Building 3 and 4 at the same time, which means he doesn't have that much. Is it? Where are these lings going, I wonder? Are they going to go and try and harass this base out here? Or are they going to try and sweep down into this base here, where the Banshees are?
It's like, oh, it's terrible, I have so many followers.
Oh, incoming. And he's going to lose a bunch of lings to no purpose. Oh, wait, no, he's going to be able to scout all of this stuff here. Try and take one of them out, but unfortunately for him, it's not going to work. His opponent's going to also counter-attack on his 3rd, which he cannot afford to lose at this point. He really needs that 3rd up and running. And the Hellions will do Hellions are going to die very quickly. He may be able to save this 3rd. Oh, brutal damage on the Hellions. Lots of big pokes from massive giraffe-headed things. And the roaches clean that up. There we go. Unfortunately for him, Terran now has a hammerlock on the middle of the thing and is making cattle bruises. Oh wow, he's going Sky Terran in a way I could never have imagined. He's actually getting battle cruisers by the ton.
They just sort of flail away on the...
You know what I mean. Where are those workers going? They're going to sit in a corner apparently and think about what they've done. And what they've done is apparently enable battle cruisers, which cannot be shot from the ground. Or rather can be shot from the ground, just not by roaches. And now he throws away his Hellions because... Oh, and a bunch of workers being thrown away as well because Terran doesn't need them no more. Why are you wasting the eggs, my friend? Oh yeah, fungal on those things. No more energy for fungal. At this point, betting heavily favours Anubis. This Banshee is, however, wasting its efforts on infested Terrans that were going to die soon anyway. Spore Crawler coming up behind it, and if he had any nous, he'd go after that instead. Burrow the infestors! Oh my god. That was nearly very, very damaging altogether. Blah, 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 blah. That's a dead Banshee. That said, I don't think he cares anymore. I think Terran's just going for the kill them with everything. Or kill them from the air. He's going to throw some Thors into this, and if there was anything other than what felt like a transition into mass battle cruisers, I think this was a waste. But I think he's deliberately wasting these things so that he can get some free supply. Oh my god, he's actually going to kill an infestor with workers. What the hell is that? And at this point, in Harbinger's shoes, you've got to be wondering why... Actually, you know precisely... Oh, wow, that was a bad move. He was trying to kill one of his own units there. You've got to be thinking, you know what your opponent's doing. He's freeing up supplies so we can have, like, no workers and still have all the minerals that could possibly be made. And even after throwing all those workers away, he's still got 64 of them. And he might actually be able to do some horrifying damage to this base with just 2 Thors. Which is why they won't live very long. As soon as the roaches realise what's going on, he's going to take that base immediately. But there is nothing that can be done to stop that at this point. And okay, the Corruptors will probably do some valuable service against the... Hello! That's another base that's almost certainly going to die before it can be saved. Oh, wow, that's some great Thor harassment. There's a phrase I never thought I'd say. Thor harassment. What the hell is that? Workers being thrown away, because you know what, they can. Zerg does have the capacity to rebuild from this, but he's going to have to start doing some very efficient trading and also throw away his own roaches because they're no use to him now. 10 battle cruisers already made. How many more in production? Another 4 in production. Really, seriously, like Anubis is taking the piss ever so slightly. What upgrades are these things on? They're on 2-1.
There are a couple of decisions where you might not initially...
Hunter Seeker Missile, Corvid Reactor, so the Ravens can pop out immediately firing Seeker Missile, I
And
think.
you might think they were just a little decision. And
Oh well.
then think that they have far-reaching consequences.
56 workers still for the Terran, because you know what, he can still mine up here, and he can still mine from here, and you can't get gas without worker drones. Brutal cocoons being made, but unfortunately they're worth precisely nothing against the massive force of air that his opponent is about to put up against him. And he might be able to pull some serious nasty with like infested Terrans at this point, but I think Harbinger's doomed. He's maxing out, don't get me wrong, he's going to be able to do some horrible damage with it, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I don't think he's going to be able to get enough out of those infestors to make it worthwhile, and those Broodlords are literally going to do nothing at this point.
And then glances over at me and goes, you know,
4 Thors coming knocking at your base. At which point Zerg is going to pull back like he's been stung, because this base is dead. Nothing can save it now. 4 Thors, 5 Thors even, walking up, will kill it outright. If he was up against Protoss, that would be a bad thing, but... Oh, a single roach going in to discover that there's mass battle cruisers there.
Tattoos that look like adorable freckles. What art designer's idea was that? Because they need a fucking...
Oh. Infested Terrans coming down all over the place. Will they be able to do anything at all? Anubis, no! Why are you lagging out like that? The infested Terrans, will they be able to do horrifying damage? Yeah, actually they'll do something. At this point, I'm kind of expecting Zerg to mass corrupt us. Unfortunately, because I'm in a peat mode tournament, I can't tell, and Zerg has a bunch of resources and some supply to spare. And he's done some damage to that force, but he hasn't killed a single battle cruiser. Oh, it's not looking good for our Zerg player because his opponent's using Thor harassment. Thor harassment? What bullshit is this? Are they actually using this 250mm strike cannon? No, they're not, because they don't need to. Oh my god, they're 222 Thors. Anubis appears to be lagging out, sorry. Oh. See, the problem is, Broodlords cannot shoot battle cruisers. Battle cruisers can, however, Yamato the shed loads out of them. And at that point, you know you've lost.
Not recently enough to trust it. I'm gonna go calibrate him and set people on alert here. If you see anyone...
Oh, Roach is actually pushing up into the one massive mining base of Terran. But I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference at this point. I mean, he's got the workers being killed, and it's doing a lot of damage to his stuff, but the battle cruisers are here. They'll be able to clean this roach force up if nothing else. Yep, the roach is dying at a prodigious rate. Unfortunately, we can't see them because there's battle cruisers on top. And he needs a worker to repair that planetary. The Thors, get out of my way. Thors doing their job, taking everything out. But they're good against cocoons, aren't they? Damn. Because they do 36 damage a shot. Damn! Unfortunately for Zerg, he's getting outplayed, I think. In terms of the betting, we can see that Anubis is being bet on heavily at this point. Infestors coming out for the Terran, for the Zerg player. They keep doing that. Oh, they're so full of energy, but they never... Has anyone ever used strike cannon? Oh, hello Schmuzzy. Good to see you in the chat. Has anyone actually ever used strike cannons? Like, even since, like, the beginning of the game, has anyone actually used strike cannons? Because they don't seem like they do anything useful. Like, you know, you have, like, you could use them against... Oh, the Ravens in that army are going to ensure that the Roaches there don't do anything at all, and the Seeker missile potential right here. Oh wow, Zerg is so dead and possibly knows it. He's definitely going a bit of Sky Terran right here. And even if he doesn't throw down Seeker missiles, the number of turrets these things can throw down. Like 50 energy a turret. That's 3 turrets a Raven. Yeah, it's not looking good for Zerg. Oh my... Yeah, Harbinger knows he's lost. This is, however, literally the only way you can do anything at all at this point, and he should really pick those up because they're being detected by the Ravens. The Ravens are going to come in and see that. And 1 Seeker missile, 4 Seeker missiles, bam! Those spores are going to kill everything. Also, another disadvantage of turrets, I don't think you can actually build them on. Hello, bam! Good night, infestors. I don't think he's got enough to do more, but he's got... Oh, you can actually put turrets down like that. Okay. It's looking bad for Zerg, but then again, it kind of always was going to at this point. He's actually powering through, my god. Yamato Cannon, Yamato Cannon Imber. GG. Harbinger gives... Anubis is very good. The way it looks, we may have to have a fish Anubis game. Oh, no. Anubis is apparently out.
First thing I did.
Disruptor ammo is very good against shields as well, and mechs. Headshot on mechs will although, actually on those ones, they can, on occasion, there's a random chance of making them explode really massively. Which can be quite damaging.
A loon game? It's a bit of a strange thing to say. Okay, let's see who's in for the next one.
Okay, you're getting paid tomorrow, aren't you? I'm going to need stuff, but I'm not going to need, like, the whole of it. I've got like a 5,000,
Not until tomorrow morning.
No, try
Stretching what?
You've got, I don't know what you've got, if you've got ammo that's more effective against...
Yeah, I'm already.
There's nothing more effective against next to the disruptor.
I always use simple to shield it down and Inferno and the rest of it, and that's it, so Inferno burns to the eye.
Yeah.
No, Inferno as a power is really nice, yeah.
I mean,
Put it onto one of your shoulder buttons.
Ah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, incendiary armor is better against... incendiary armor and Inferno are better against armor specifically.
Yeah.
But it's kind of swings and roundabouts between that and disruptor ammo if the armor...
Let's see what people want to do.
You know, or any other kind of synthetic.
So, those watching in the chat, following along. Oh, we have ourselves Harbinger putting his hat back in the ring.
Shit like that gets you... That's why those are great. They result in
Tomorrow
that.
afternoon or evening?
That's the fun for some of you.
Between 4:30 and 5.
So, at this point, by the way, if people want to have a go and join in, I believe the chat channels are, there's Psionic Aftermath, which we're using at the moment, and Nova Wolf on EU. If you're an NA, sorry, you're going to have to wait till global play.
Yeah.
Which,
I think...
we know when it's going to happen though, because Heart of the Swarm has it, and I believe they're putting the same functionality in for, what's the phrase, they're putting the same functionality in for Wings of Liberty at that point. So yeah, hopefully that'll be... yeah, hopefully we can get some more people over from the States for that. Quite nice. Yeah, looks like Harbinger's the only one who wants to play. We might be up for some cheese at this point. When I say cheese, I don't mean, you know, like, oh my god, he's being bad. I mean, no, you will cheese. This is a mandatory cheese match, and everyone cheeses in this matchup.
I don't think I've ever seen it put by both of them.
What have we got in terms of leaderboard?
Yeah, they're done with the computer.
Fish.
Looks like there's a lot in it.
The number of points? Peep rating. Okay. Number of chips earned this game. Anubis is definitely a winner in that one. He's done a really good job actually. Anubis is very good. Sorry, I'll put it back in the game so people can actually see what I'm referring to. What can you actually do with this? Oh, I see. You can get yourself new avatars. Oh, a hybrid destroyer. Everyone wants to be a hybrid destroyer. Then you can get yourself a sheep. That's where the sheep came from. Is that where the sheep came from? Yes, it is. Unfortunately, I cannot afford any of these because I don't play. Oh, nice. Pandada. Oh, no. Happy face. All sorts of fun jazz. Have to admit, I've never seen these before.
Yes, what do you want? Should we look down the favourites and see what
I have a feeling this peep mode has come to a natural conclusion. We've had a couple of games, but they've been really nice quality games. I've really enjoyed them. So, I'm kind of waiting for people to leave, see if people actually do. Because at the moment I seem to be the only person who's talking about anything at all. Aha, Steve has left the game, there we go. At the moment it just looks like it's going to be Fish and Harbinger. We'll leave those guys there for now. Because at this point I want to get back into the channel, actually get some content up, because you know what? While sitting here and watching me waffle while people decide to do stuff is actually fascinating. We decided what to do what next. Thinking mandatory cheese. Examples of things that we've had in the past were the 6-player 6 pool, where we had 6 players and everyone had to start with the 6 pool. And it turned into, I think, Harbinger didn't win that one actually, because he ended up having to 1 base versus someone who was 4 basing. But it was a good game nonetheless. We've had Void Rays. We've had... what else we had? I'm trying to remember now. We've done a couple of others. But the idea is that everybody cheeses to start with. And that way it sort of forces a massively aggressive game that results in, you know, somebody going out very quickly. And then, you know, once we've gotten beyond the cheese stage, you know, as long as you 6-ball. Yeah, Harbinger, for the record, is not very happy about the state of Zerg at the moment, saying that unless you go Broodlord Infester, you lose. Which, to be fair, you do have to go Broodlord Infester, partly just because it's amazing. But we'll see what happens. Oh, the last person has left that map. Let's see. No one seems to be responding. Right, I think we're about to lose Harbinger and Fish. Thanks, guys.
It must have taken lots of effort to be able to
Right, Fish.
have it like smart.
Not going to be able to play, but can observe. So we'll see. I suspect, however, he's going to end up observing them instead.
Cancer-free cigarettes. Oh my god, that'd be amazing.
Currently looks like there is actually no interest whatsoever in doing this. Oh well. Well, sorry about this. This is meant to go on a little longer, but why do I just want to observe a game? That would be a little bit dull. Alright, there might be fairly good games, but you can do that any day, you know, you can probably log on to.
No, it's okay.
I'll tell you what, we'll try observing a game, see what happens. Right. Okay, I'm having it suggested to me, I don't know if you can see this, that I have challenges for when I cast. For specifically things like, you know, you're not allowed to use a certain letter, which would be an absolute bastard. Or you have to end every sentence with a particular word, which would get kind of tiring fairly quickly, but there we go. But yeah, Zadoom. And Harbinger we already know, but he's now going to be playing at his full power level. He's going to drop that weighted cloak. Let's see. That should be... So there's part of me that is tempted to try and get a sort of a training night together. And try and get, you know, sort of a couple of Masters level players and a couple of sort of bronze, silver, gold level scrubs and just teach, you know, not me teach, naturally, I'm not that good. But, you know, have people doing coaching sessions. That could be quite good. I should probably try that. By the way, if people have in the chat have any suggestions for stuff like that, please let me know. Right. In the bottom right of Ohana, which means, you know it does, we see Zadoom. And in the top left, we see Harbinger playing that Zerg. And he's called that his opponent's going to go 1-1-1, but apparently it's pretty good on this map. It's pretty powerful. It's pretty strong. That said, he's going to have to do something to do that. Zadoom putting down that pylon, presumably going for some kind of wall-in. Not complete wall-in because he's playing Protoss and thus can't lift it up later, but such is life. And hopefully we're not going to see any silly kind of cheese out of either player in this match. Nope, that one, there we go. So, in terms of start of game, again, this is sort of all very standard, all very normal. And at some point I'm kind of expecting to see a Forge go down somewhere over here, just to wall himself in a little more. I was going to say a Gateway, but I'm kind of expecting a Forge because Forge Fast Expand. It's a thing. Zadoom seeing that... seeing Pool before Hatch. Being fairly certain his opponent's going to go for the other one. Question is, will he build anything there, or will he just sit there and harass with it? Protoss, however, is going for... Nexus before Forge. Again, a bit of a greedy game. A bit of a greedy guzzler. And he's attempting to... No. Oh, will they be able to? No. I have a feeling Harbinger's going to go straight to his third.
There she is.
There she goes. And at this point, you're kind of expecting Zadoom to realise that, because at some point in the future he's going to realise he hasn't had any scouting done. There goes the forge. Another pylon to wall himself in a bit more, presumably a gateway or something to fill up part of this gap and just leave enough for zealots and stalkers to sit there, because at the moment that's kind of a big hole. But no lings so far. The first couple of lings, which are going to come out and chase this probe off, are going to be able to do just enough to ensure that Harbinger gets to take his natural as well as his third. Protoss walling himself in with the gateway. Actually, he's completely walling himself in. Presumably at some point he's going to start opening up this destructible rock territory and start doing some damage with that. I'm expecting a cannon to come down too as well, because at some point he's going to need to have ling resistance. He hasn't seen his opponent's got it, but we can be fairly certain that there's going to be a natural coming down there at some point, and it's entirely possible he's about to lose that probe. Which would be a bit bad, because the probe's going to have to go back on itself to go around this area, and it's going to get hit twice. Oh no! He's going to lose it, but it's going to take a little longer. There we go. That said, it's not like his opponent doesn't know where he's spawning. Oh, hello. Just seen Huxley in the chat. Good to see you, Huxley. How you doing? Cannon to resist lings. And at this point, in terms of vision, Harbinger knows when his opponent takes gas, but until he takes the gas, he doesn't even know if there's a nexus down there. I'm going to assume he's expecting a nexus down there, because why would your opponent not do that when you know what your opponent has?
Credits, they're relatively hard to come by to.
Let's see.
In one, you could max out the counter quite happily. Yeah.
Harbinger getting his natural down and not taking to anything specific, I don't think. No, I can't see any of the buildings. I'm kind of expecting some kind of roach play from him at this point, because he knows his opponent's basic units are zealots and stalkers, and they can do, roaches can do horrible things. He's getting that warp gate research because you know what? He's a Protoss player and he's playing any game at all. Units lost so far. Protoss has lost a worker. Zerg's lost a ling. In terms of army supply, 7 army. Protoss actually has more workers, which is somewhat terrifying. It means that Zerg, despite the fact that he has more bases, has not... There we go, there's a nice big round of drones, and the Roach Warren coming down. And I kind of... Until the Protoss starts going Immortals, that's actually a really good unit to have against Protoss, as far as I can tell, because they do a nice big shot of damage. Can burn your opponent's shields down very, very quickly. Oh, a single zealot gets into the base and will probably do something horrifying. Like kill a bunch of workers. Oh no, it's just in there to scout. That said, Zadoom is getting to see a lot of fun things. Queen's going to block his exit. Oh no. The Queen's not doing anything at all, and he's just going to start poking at those workers. You're going to try and take on the Queen, and it's not going to work. I have a sneaking suspicion that in the none too distant future we're going to see Harbinger stick down a spine crawler or two, just to be absolutely certain. In terms of vision, Zerg has seen pretty much everything his opponent has, up to and including the Roach Warren. And he's still not going up to lair tech. Blink coming in now for the Protoss, which can again be... It can either be used aggressively or not. I have a feeling he's going to use it to just go in and kill a hatch and leave. One Ling doing not an awful lot there. Right. Excellent. Warp gates. Oh, he's unwalling himself in by having to kill one of his own pylons. Okay, I don't get that. We have ourselves a bunch of Roachling coming out from the Zerg player. He's actually pushing out across the map and is going to discover that his opponent's doing stuff. How much of it he saw will depend on how good he's feeling right now. The Lings fleeing when they see exactly what they're up against. A lot of Stalkers. While Zerg probably has the forces to deal with that, he doesn't have them here.
And her face is based on... Oh god, what's her name? She's in She's in Chuck. Never seen her.
Zadoom putting down his third. Obviously, because he's playing against the Zerg, he's going to put down his third way after the Zerg does, because Zerg need that third. I'm kind of expecting Zerg to throw down a fourth at some point, and I'm going to assume it's going to be here because of easy access.
Yeah, also.
You know, it's a short run up from the third.
Some of the characters,
A bunch of Zealots going out to check out whether I'm right, in fact, I think.
you know, be the actor's face and that's.
Oh, hello. That Ling dies. Gets butchered by Zealots. The Zealots are in themselves going to get killed now, and they're going to take some damage, deal some damage, and why did you move away? Ah, to let the roaches come in and save him some Lings. Protoss player defending his third now with Stalker, Zealot. But the Zerg is barreling down on his front with a lot of stuff. Like a lot of stuff. If he just runs by with the Lings, he can get a whole bunch of Ling into his opponent's base. And while he will have Blink, it's still not great. Oh, High Templar morphing in. They don't have Storm, but they do have feedback. And he's walled himself in again. Oh, the attack going to come in at exactly the right time to catch a whole bunch of Zealots.
Then the 3 shots fly and they're all
The Zealot's going down in a hail of acid. Oh, it's looking bad for the Protoss here. He's not got a good concave. He's got the blink, but he's not been able to blink up onto the high ground, and he's going to be able to do it shortly, and that Archon is going to be able to do some horrible damage. But at this point, Harbinger looks like he's very much in a solid leading position. Blink away, that base falls down. He's going to be able to actually pick off a whole bunch of these. Oh, yep. He's just picking them off one at a time, trying not to take damage, trying to take... Oh, no. Doesn't want to do that. There we go, blinking his Stalkers back to try and minimize the damage they take, so when they lose all their shields, there are a lot of roaches there though, and he's going to be able to kill all of them eventually, but it's going to cost Protoss so much, and in come the Lings to reinforce, and it's looking bad for Protoss. He's lost his third. He's now mining just off 2 bases, and Zerg can just power its way in and kill him at this point, I think. And he's out. I have to admit, that was more of a walkover than I thought it was going to be, actually, because that was basically just Zerg powering up and dropping things on his head. We have ourselves hopefully some more games coming down. Fish is eating and wants more games.
Because you get 2 new characters.
Getting Harbinger getting some bit of commentary on this. That's commentary man, that's my job.
You just have
Yeah.
to meet Omega. They're the only characters in apart from the regular run that you don't have a quest to do with.
Okay. Being invited to a game on Cloud Kingdom. And it starts immediately. Duh. There we go. We're going to go for another ZVP, PVZ, whichever way you want to look at it. And it's entirely possible, depending on what time it is, I might make this the last one. Maybe one more after this. Because then we'll have been going for 2 solid hours. Zadoom, sting from the defeat in the last game. Can he pull one back? Can he do some pain against Harbinger? In the top right, it's Zadoom. And in the bottom left, Harbinger. Yes. Getting that free army. Okay. We have ourselves a scouting overlord, and again, it's sort of like, you know, standard open to a game. Probes, pylons, overlords, all that jazz. How long do overlords take? 25 seconds? 25 seconds, yeah, it's basically the same at this point. Scouting worker coming out from... Yeah, early game is always the same. It's one of those things you actually see in...
Yeah, that's the thing. Rooms get unlocked.
It's one of those fun things about like early game StarCraft is that the first couple of minutes unless your opponent, unless one of them like 6 or 7 pulls you. Unless your opponent like 6 or 8 pulls you, there's not an awful lot happening really early on. I mean, we've got some scouting going on, and it turns out that, you know, he'll see the spawning pool going down, and there's not a lot can be done about that. And he's put down that pylon, and he's sticking a forge. Oh, slightly further forward from where I thought he was going to put it. I'd have thought he put it there instead, but never mind. But he's doing the forge fast expand. And to be fair, he can see the pool time because there's not much they can actually do. Oh, he's going to be able to get his natural down without any hassle at all. Bam. But yeah, it's... Actually, this is interesting, the idea of, like, you'd be able to spot the pool going down, but would you be able to spot it if it was, you know, like, if instead of going in at 9 scout, you're going at, like, I don't know, later, like 12 scout or something when this forge goes down, and then just see how many seconds through it is, because if it's done, then it's done, and if it's not done, then you know when it started. Natural coming down, I don't think that's going to cut it. Oh, yep. It appears to be a complete wall-in. And a cannon behind. Oh no, there's possibly... No, I don't even think... Yep. I'm absolutely wrong, there is a tiny, tiny space there. Which he is filling. With that working, let's see if we can do ourselves some GSL style. Whoa! Range down? No. How do you zoom to the left and right again? I can't remember. But yeah, we can zoom in GSL style. In terms of scouting, check what he sees. He sees a pylon. Fish is telling us about his sandwich. And Harbinger sticking down a really fast third. I'm confidently stating that's a fast third. Ourselves a decent wall in from Zadoom. Is he going to be slightly more cautious than he was in the last game? Is he going to be slightly more cautious, or is he going to try and go all out? I don't know. Like, instinctively, it would be really tempting to... Food is indeed one of life's great pleasures, my friend. Food is fabulous. But is he going to be slightly more confident, more careful, based on what just happened? Or is he going to be slightly, oh no, the worker, it's going to die. Can't even get back to the safety of a cannon, can it? Oh, yep, nope, the worker gets away and gets back into the base. Thus proving there is in fact a gap there. He should try and scout that hatch. The question is, will he want to? He really does want to. I mean, he wants to stick something down there just to see if his opponent's got a third, because the danger if you let a third do that, and you don't do something about it, then you lose an awful lot of stuff. Oh. Zealot going out to check out that third. There isn't. Oh, there is a queen at the place, so it is relatively well defended. The Zealot isn't going to be able to kill it anytime soon. Gas is coming down for the Protoss player. Warp gate in progress, because it turns out... Oh, he's kiting the Zealot with the Queen. Oh yeah. Oh, interesting point. If that Ling decides to attack, it's going to be able to do some bad damage to that Zealot. And he'll be able to see it. But he won't go for it because the aggro radius apparently isn't that big. I'm wondering what tech the Protoss is going to go into at this point. I mean, he knows his opponent is scouting. Oh, that's fun. He's going to scout half of his base and see absolutely nothing whatsoever until he gets down to here, at which point the robo's there. But there's only one gate, one row. It's a one-gate robo build. Not sure I like that. That seems like a bit of a risk versus... Harbinger's going to see... He hasn't seen the robo. There's the robo. He's actually seen pretty much everything his opponent has. The only thing he hasn't seen is that cannon. And he's now even... Oh. Now he's even seen that. And the sentry's doing a valiant job of pushing him away. We've got ourselves an immortal coming out. And a bunch of sentries, which might make Harbinger think he's about to get immortal sentried. Oh, a useful supply block there. Well, near supply block. However, at this point, the fact that the guy's producing an immortal is potentially going to save him if those roaches decide to push. In terms of army supply, what have we got here? Actually, it's not a massive advantage. Harbinger's at 23 to 15. But... oh, he's going for a third. Ooh, that's potentially dangerous. And he's going for a Twilight Council as well.
You have to say something.
One wonders what he's trying to do. Yeah, it's not looking good. Well, to be fair, just the roaches he's got out at the moment. I mean, that immortal is useful. Did he actually see? Does he have vision over? He doesn't have any vision out on the map at the moment. Is there? I wonder why he's not got any observers going out. Oh, Roachling! It's that Roachling combo, and it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that Colossus is going to be out in time. The observer sees the Roachling precisely where it is. There we go. Bam. I mean, if he splits them up, he could do some damage with it, and he knows where that third is now, but he needs to add more gateways. Yeah, he does. But he's not doing it. I think he's trusting in the few units he actually has to be able to defend him against all this stuff. I'm not certain it's going to work. He's pushing out. Oh. It was a success, I guess, technically.
If you carry on standing behind him.
But it's not great for use of force fields. Those sentries use a lot of energy there. That said, I mean, you know, what he really needs to be doing is pushing that observer out onto the map, because there is one in here somewhere. There it is. He needs to stick that observer out on the map somewhere, because if he doesn't, it's not going to be worth anything. I mean, his opponent's not going for cloaked units. His opponent's just going to kill him. And he's finally getting extended thermal lance plus 2 ground weapons. Actually, it does occur to me that one of the things I would like to that I would like to do in this sort of matchup is just get a single Stargate, get a couple of Phoenixes out, and just chase away the Overlords, because you know your Zerg opponent's going to have good vision. They've got Overlords everywhere.
I want this so hard.
There goes the observer. Shouldn't have been clumped up with those guys anyway. And that said, it is going to get a clutch
That's kind of awesome.
spot if it stops right there. No, it's not. And that Ling is actually going to get more useful information and possibly kill a worker. Six workers on a single gas geyser in the third. There's a doom. 6 workers on a single gas geyser. Not optimal.
Oh, you get an achievement for watching all 3 of those videos.
I mean, you know, you can, but it's not perfect. Finally putting some more gates down. Yes, Fish, it's a fantastic new meta. Like, just look at it, look at it. There's like 4 workers in that selection. Ah. Okay, I shouldn't be saying this because I'm not that good myself. But at the same time, gah. Especially because he now has 1 on there. And 6 on there. Why? No one would expect it because it doesn't do you any good. I'm actually only silver myself. It's my multitasking ability. It cripples me. Otherwise known as I'm just not very good yet. I mean, I'm sort of improving slowly over time, and I can play against silver and sometimes gold level players. As it happens, I'm a Terran. Which, you know, is why I'm failing, because Terran, they're just underpowered, man. It's just how it is. Oh, but I know about the method. How often do I eat? Ooh. Usually like 3 times a day. Plus a snack occasionally. And my favourite colour at the moment... Ooh. I don't really have one. You know. Oh! We've got ourselves a bunch of spines coming down. Apparently, Zerg thinks they're in late game already. Which, to be fair, Corruptor's coming out of your ears. Ah, why you? No, that's not good. The Colossi might die, but they will lose a bunch of Corruptors as well. Send something in with them. He's seen the Colossi, he's seen the Stalkers, the blink is on the way. A single Stargate coming up for our Protoss player. Will he make a Mothership? He bloody well better, because his opponent's going Broodlords. Unfortunately, the mothership is going to take absolutely ages to make, because he needs to make a fleet beacon, which will take a minute. And then he needs to make the mothership, which will take nearly 3 minutes. So it's 4 minutes plus the rest of the build time on this Stargate before he can even contemplate making... Oh! There's a pylon. There's a pylon! Will he warp in Zealots? He's seen it. It hasn't seen him. It's going to see him in a minute. I don't think it's going to matter, though. I think Zerg's about to win. Yep, there we go. There's a few holes in that. And that cannon, while brave and true and all that jazz, the army's in the wrong place there, dude. And all the workers in the main are gonna die. Because that's a lot of lings. In fact, he might actually lose his entire main at this point. He is in fact going to lose all of his pylons. What? I mean, don't get me wrong, Protoss may be attacking, but Zerg's going to win this base race if it happens. Oh, Roaches versus Zealots in the bottom corner. Zealots actually doing really quite well, being 2-0 versus the Roaches 1-1. Oh. It's actually looking like a fairly determined push by Protoss in the bottom corner here. Fungal growths are doing bad damage, nasty things. Broodlords, however, are going to make their faces known, and the Immortals are going to die very shortly. Oh, the Storms goes down and hits a lot of Broodlords, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. The Zealots, while they're good, they're going to get tanked in by the forces there. Oh, there's a Stalker force coming up to try and do something to someone. But it doesn't look like they can do an awful lot, especially... I mean, there's a lot of Storms here, but... if the Broodlords can just spread up a bit, that force gets cleaned up. And while we've been watching that, yeah, Zadoom's lost his entire main. Like, actually lost his entire main. That's... I'd find something to chrono with that just to the hell of it. Putting some gateways down, he's a little low on minerals. He's going to lose his fourth, and he knows there's nothing he can really do about that right now. The gateways. Harbinger is happy, and damn right he should be. The Corruptor's just taking hits along the top there. Because it turns out... Oh, it's Anubis Master. Thanks, Triumph. Bit of a beat down there. Well, it happens. Ah, Anubis is off. Yes, Harbinger, we saw that shit. I have a feeling it's probably about time for me to call it at this point.
No, you hit A on.
Right, we're going to call the stream here. Thank you for those who stayed from beginning to end. I know it was a bit slow to start. We had some latency, latency issues. We had some issues getting stuff, keeping stuff going. But, yeah, it was good stuff. Hopefully be able to do the same thing again next Monday. Again, at some point in the non-too-distant future, I expect to have some kind of schedule going, because that would it will make things a little smoother, a little tighter, make it look a little more professional. And, yeah... if you like it, then not subscribe, follow. Subscribing is something else. And if I can finally get YouTube to accept my uploads again, I'll start uploading stuff to YouTube again, which would be nice. And yeah, other than that, I think we're pretty much done for tonight. If people have suggestions, if people have comments, if people have things they really want to share, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if you've got good replays, stuff that could be entertaining, stuff that you want to have casted, say, bung it to me at novawolfen@gmail.com. And if you don't, then that's fair enough, but do come back. If you follow, you'll know when I go online, I think, because I think it automatically emails people. And if it doesn't, then yeah, hopefully we'll find some other way. But good game, well played all. And I will see people next Monday, 8 PM UK time, give or take. Thanks for watching. See ya.